afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele Lignay. Are you still stressed? It's a good Thursday to everyone. It's a pink Thursday to everybody. And I would like to greet you and to ask you to just sit down and join me for the rest of the 30 minutes to talk about this part two of stress over stress. How are you doing, friends? How have you been since the other day that we talked about stress? May nagbago ba sa stress? May nabago ba sa buhay? Ano ba ang dapat nating tingnan? Are we supposed to look at the stress or are we supposed to look at ourselves? Yan ang maganda nating tingnan. Yan ang maganda nating pag-usapan. So please join me. I hope you're wearing pink. Um, Join me for the rest of the session so that we can all support each other in our well-being. I'm not going to support your stress, but I'm going to support you in your well-being. So, okay. The other day, I think we had a very good discussion regarding stress. Stress. So, this afternoon, pag-usapan natin, well, we know the common stress that's happening with us, like demands of work, difficult people, differences with the people at the house, and then the demarcation between work and home. And then I would like to ask you, these are the common stress. Alin dito yung pinaka-common sa inyo? And when we encounter stress, I asked this the other day, what happens to you when we encounter stress? Anong nangyayari sa inyo, friends, when you're encountering stress? Some answered, of course, they're getting headaches, getting gastric problems, they get pains the shoulders. Pero for those of you who are here, let me know what happens to you when you're stressed. How does stress affects your body? How does stress affect your whole being? And um, I also mentioned the other day in the past podcast or live stream that the stress over stress is that we're becoming very stressed na nasa-stress na tayo. Hindi ba? Minsan we're so fixated na ang dami kong gagawin, nasa-stress na ako. Kumusta ka? Ito nga okay lang, pero stress. Pero, and we have to look and check where is the stress coming from? Is it really the stress in itself or is it our attitude about stress? That's why I asked the other day that I told you the other day that when we're stressed, are we accepting it as part of life, the reality, and we're so fixated in trying to resolve it? Or, and we spend our energies, do we spend our energy supporting our stress or do we spend our resources supporting our well-being? Yan ang maganda natin pag-usapan, friends. Punta tayo dyan sa usapang yan. Are you, let me know, if you are here, let me know, are you supporting your stress and being fixated and stressed over stress? Or are you supporting your well-being? So that's something that you can actually let me know. Nasaan ka dyan? Nasaan ang iyong stress management strategy? Nasa iyon ang what is it that you're doing actually? What is it that you are uh, making the most of right now? So here, I would like the truth and stress. I mentioned that it's part of life. We have it has an impact on our total health, and the other thing that we need to know is that it may compromise our health and our well-being. So having said that, friends, where are you here? Where are you here? Do you realize these things that we've been uh, encountering? So in the middle of the pandemic, are we actually navigating stress healthily? So here, let's look into how can we focus on supporting our well-being instead of our health. How can we support ourselves instead of our stress? One thing that we need to understand is stress itself. Saan galing yung stress? So first thing that we can do, understand the source of stress. We cannot actually identify everything. We cannot identify na hindi ito dito galing to. Sometimes it can be paralysis resulting from analysis. Yung too much analysis can bring paralysis. What I would like you to look into is that, okay, is this stress sa labas ko or sa loob ko. Yan yun. If there's something that you can learn, let me just throw some situations here. What is it that you're going to manage? The stress inside or the stress outside you? Ano ang dapat natin pinag-aaksayahan ng enerhiya, atensyon, at saan natin dapat ibaling ang ating solusyon? Sa stress sa loob or stress sa labas? Meron ba? In our capacity, as normal people, as regular people, as work people, as family members, where do you think are we supposed to be spending our energy in managing our stress? The stress in the outside or the stress in the inside? Anybody who would answer? In all reality, stress is coming from two sources, the external stress and the internal stress. Kaya yung tinatanong ko, is stress coming from the outside or is stress coming from the inside? And why is it important for us to know how to manage this? Because, because the external ones are actually what's happening now in the pandemic, in the political arena. The noise level of your son's music. Ayan. The attitude of the person you are living with. Or that reaction of the people in your workplace or your colleagues that naiinis ka sa reaction nila pero wala ka namang magawa. In short, ito yung mga bagay na sa labas natin. The more stress happens to us if we are actually trying to manage the stress that is coming from the outside. Ano ba dapat? Huwag ka na kasing mag-post ng ganyan. Pipigilin natin yung isang tao. Dapat kasi wag mo nang gawin yan. We are actually trying to manage the stress outside. Many times, kaya. But there are just some occasions that we cannot do anything about the stress outside. For example, you would say that, na pagsabihan ko nga itong taong to, kung makapost, grabe, ang mga post niya is very harsh, it's very negative, pagsabihan ko nga. But we cannot actually we don't have a choice there. Because your choice is to accept, or why don't, your choice there is to accept that it may be a stressor to me, so I should unfollow. So that external manifestation of stress, if it's already stressing you, the choice that you can make is the internal choice. You cannot change somebody. We cannot change a certain circumstances. So in those situations that they said that, di ba, parang we're pushed to the wall or we don't have a choice. Actually, there's a choice. There are many circumstances in our lives that we are not left with any choice. Tama ba? Parang, iyoko naman yan, ibinigay sa akin eh. But, in all honesty, that's why we're stressed because we are trying to change a situation na hindi naman talaga natin nasa capacity, wala sa job description natin, wala sa objective natin na baguhin. Hindi kasama sa load of work natin. But the choice there is to manage how we think about it, how we feel about it. Okay, so I feel this way about this person. I feel this way about the post of this person. Okay, I think I can just mute her for now or unfollow her for now. That's a choice. That is an internal choice. Ayokong maapektuhan ng mga taong tulad niya. So, for example, we would like to change somebody. We know, maybe your boss, maybe a colleague, maybe the situation, but in all honesty, wala nang makakagawa and nobody can change anyone but themselves. So, maybe you can start looking at it na I'm going to just be the bigger person para intindihin tong taong to. Sige, tatanggapin ko na lang ng maliwanag, tatanggapin ko na lang ng bukal sa kalooban at lalakihan ko na lang yung aking pag-iisip kung hanggang saan ko kayang i-handle yung sitwasyon. Or sometimes, many people, what I realize, many people in this pandemic situation, they're trying to control when the end of pandemic will be. They're trying to control, kasi naman, bakit pa ganyan ang rules? Kasi naman, bakit hindi pa matapos-tapos? Pero actually, we really don't know the end yet. So meanwhile, let's not hang ourselves by the thread. wag natin ipin yung buhay natin at the end of the pandemic. We can start actually making the most out of what we have at present. Like, okay, ito yung realidad ngayon. So, given this reality, ano yung kaya kong gawin? Tingnan ko na lang muna. Okay, hindi na lang muna ako magpaplano sa buhay ko ng sobra-sobra. I will not fret over the college of my kids, maybe what would happen to the country next year. I'm not going to fret over it. But I can just choose right now what is it in my plate and what's it in my capacity to do, to be able to make a difference, to be accountable for my actions, and to change my perception about it. Is this making sense? Because when you actually try to understand the external stress, these are coming from actually external stressor, the events, people, social media, circumstances that we may have. Yes, maybe work. You may tell me, Doc, I'm so loaded with my work, but that's your work. That's actually your work and it's part of life. So, is it an external stress? Yes. So, what do you do is that maybe internally, maybe it's a matter of choosing to look at it positively, looking at the bigger picture, looking at that, okay, I'm not going to look at the 10 tasks that is in front of me. I'm just going to look at one area for now. How much stress we actually experience will actually be manifested on how we are. So, if we are too loaded in our thoughts, sa isip natin, I just to share with you, many people in this pandemic are actually into overthinking. Overthinking na sila dati. Kaya many people, let me be honest, I hope it's okay, that many people succumb to anxiety. They they experience so much because they've been overthinking and trying to control factors that are actually externally outside them and beyond their capacity to do. So let's shift gears, friends, in this time na nandito pa rin tayo and we need to support each other. Like for me, sabi ko, pag natapos na yung lockdown, tapos na rin si coffee break eh. I don't know if I will do that, because I know that many people are being blessed by what I'm doing. So, I will just keep doing it until kaya ko. At hanggat may nanonood pa, I will do it. So here, the internal stressor is that let's do something now that will be beneficial. Let's do something now that's connected to my work. Okay, hindi ko kayang saklawan yung 10, pero kaya ko yung 3. Kaya ko yan, talents ko yan, gagawa ko ng paraan yung 3. So that we don't get overwhelmed by all the external things that's happening. So, I think I mentioned this. When I ask people now na, what's stressing you? If you answer me the pandemic, the lockdown situation, actually that's true, but actually it's no longer necessary. Kasi given na yan sa atin ngayon. We cannot say na hindi temporary. Yes, temporary, but it's actually the reality. Are you catching me here, friends? So, given this reality, when we wrestle so much with the reality, kung inaaway natin yung realidad, gusto nating baguhin, gusto natin na palitan, gusto natin na maggawa ng paraan, actually, the more it stresses us. The more we just try to control the unknowns, kumbaga the X and the Y, we will try to control it and then we cannot see a reason, we cannot see a direction, we cannot see a definite action plan, we cannot see an end result, and then that's what's causing so much stress. Dinadagdagan pa natin kung ano yung actually dapat nating sinusuportahan. Kaya friends, I that's the question that I throw to many of you. Where do you think stress is coming from? External or internal? Ikaw sa buhay mo, kung ano man ang meron kang pinagdadaanan ngayon, ano yung kontrolado mo? Yung external stress or yung internal stress? Because in all honesty, the biggest source of stress is it's our thoughts. It's our how we think about things. The internal stress is actually rooted on our thoughts because the way we look at things, the way we try to do things, the way we try to deal with things, our attitude and perspective about things actually is the one who's causing stress. And because of that, because of that, by understanding if it's external or internal stress, especially our thought stress, we can actually tweak it, that same thing that's inside our head. We can actually tweak it to use it for our advantage. So, okay, kaya pwede ba nating sabihin na ang stress, it's in the mind? Yes. It's all not in the mind, but it's in the way we look at things. Because in reality, there's stressors outside. But come to think of it, yes, nandiyan na yan, problema yan, kailangan harapin, pero ang malaking pagkakaiba is our attitude and how we deal with it. So we cannot control all the externals, but we can try changing how we think about it and how we do it and how we manage it. Kaya I would like to ask you, when we are navigating stress, do you do you do you manage the stress or do you manage your well-being? Yan. So I would like you to look into these three aspects. How can we have better mindsets regarding stress this pandemic? Okay, so stressed over stress in any situation that may be stressing you, let's look at in this three mindset. The challenge mindset. Challenge mindset means may magagawa ba ako dito? In my capacity, am I capable? Can I challenge myself to do better? Can I come up with new solution? Can I have new creative means of what I can do? So that's the challenge mindset. You challenge yourself, wait, ganyan na lang ba? Or I can do something. Okay, for example of challenging myself. Okay, I know that I need to move extra. For example, I am getting stressed with work this week. I know I need to move extra. I know I need to do something better. Pero parang kailangan ko yata ng extra load of well-being. So, ang challenge mindset doon is that alam kong kaya kong gawin yun, pero kailangan kong suportahan yung sarili ko. So, what we can do is that, oh, maybe dagdagan ko yung prayer time ko mamayang umaga. Oh, gigising ako ng mas aga. This morning, I did that. So, it's this morning, I woke up early, time enough for yoga, and then I had a mass. Minsan kasi, ang ginagawa ko, nag-yoga muna ako, ay nagmamas muna ako, and then saka ako nag-yoga. But what I mean is that I challenge myself to do something differently, to add up into something so that I can manage and help myself better. Am I making sense? You challenge yourself, how can I pivot from this? How can I tweak the way I do things to be able to manage it well? So that's a challenge mindset. The second, controllable by self mindset. Gustong gusto ko to in any stressful situation. Is it in my plate or is it in my plate or is it beyond my capacity? Kumbaga, nasa opisina ko ba to or nasa labas? Is this in is this within my control? I like that. Is it within my control or is it's not in my control? Before, I had years back, I really had a very difficult load with work. Sumabay pa na I'm finishing my master's degree. And then that was a time na parang I'm not seeing eye to eye with my boss. And then I always, so I need to manage my well-being because actually I'm already in the stage of burnout. And I find myself chanting many days of those days. Is this in my control or not in my control? Yung gusto niyang mangyari, is this in my control or not in my control? Di ba yung may pinapagawa sa'yo na paulit-ulit? Okay, gawin mo na lang, sundin mo na lang. Is this in my control or not in my control? So there, nasa kakayahan ko ba or nasa labas? So opisina ko ba? Sa opisina niya. Sa job description ko ba or hindi? Sa pamilya ko ba to? Sa plato ko ba to? Role ko ba to? Kaya, it's good to know this. What is it in what is it that I can control myself? What is it that I have the responsibility to take over? And then I take over, we take over. Because stress adds up, it becomes more stressful and it becomes more toxic if we are trying to control yung hindi natin saklaw. Are you getting me here, friends? Yung what kaya we run into mental health issues. We run into anxiety concerns is because the third aspect sorry, we are trying to navigate our lives in the third mindset, which is controllable by others. Look at it that way. Hindi naman sa'yo, gusto mong solusyonan. Hindi mo na problema, pinoproblema mo pa. Bakit? Nakakaawa eh. Gusto kong tumulong. Yes, but sometimes ang pagtulong ay hindi pag-overfunction. Ang pagtulong ay pag-allow sa ibang tao na gawin yung kanila para lahat tayo mag-grow. That's why a lot of people are actually taking on stress that are not necessary because they're taking on what is not theirs. Minsan, di ba sabihin natin na, okay, magaling tumulong, pero humihingi ba ng tulong? Kailangan ba ng tulong? Because sometimes, ang kailangan natin tulungan, yung sarili natin. I'll give you a perfect example. Ah, online learning work ng mga bata. Maraming parents na stress sa online learning work ng mga anak. Pero minsan, okay, meron mga bata kailangan ng extra help. Pero in all honesty, minsan it's the parents who needs extra help. Why? They are trying to, let me just say this, they're just trying to control too many factors. They are just trying to, shall we say, to perfect. For example, meron video editing nga na kailangan na project yung anak ko. So, yung project, sinong dapat gagawa if you have big kids like me? So, anak mo dapat, bakit kailangan ikaw ang gumawa? So, you're taking on the work that is not supposed to be yours. Pag kasi siya hindi niya alam. So, pag hindi siya alam, paano niya matututunan? Are you getting me? Paano niya matututunan? And how will you train your child to do what he needs to do if we keep sidestepping or overstepping their function? Tapos you will say, naku, nakaka-stress talaga yung mga pinapagawa ng teachers. Ang dami ko nang load sa work, ang dami ko pang gagawin sa bahay, and the more stressful it is for me. Perfect! Because controllable by others na yan. Hindi na yan sa atin. So look at it in three ways. How can we deflect stress and have healthier minds at this pandemic? One, the challenge mindset. Is the situation challenging me to look into better ways to well-being? Or is it asking me to manage my stress? So it's challenge. You are challenged to tweak things and to recalibrate. So that's the challenge mindset. The next thing, controllable by self mindset. Akin ba to? Is it in my turf? Is this my responsibility? Am I accountable for this? If the answer is yes, okay, babaguhin ko. Ako ang magmamanage kasi akin pala to. Controllable by others. If it's no longer your problem, if it's external to you already, you don't need to be stressed about it. Because sometimes, di ba, mas nakaka-stress sasabihin ng mga ibang tao na nakaka-stress kasi hindi siya nasa-stress. The mere fact na hindi nasa-stress yung tao is baka naman talagang wala sa kanya. And sometimes, it's sa atin meron. So you have to check, controllable by others. Yes, it's in their turf. So, what you can do is that you can just sidestep. Kasi nakakaawa what if ganito? Let it be. Ito yung sinasabi ko na minsan, tigasan talaga ng sikmura. Kasi bakit ako magpapaka-stress sa bagay na ayaw naman nilang harapin? So, kung nangailangan na lang ng tulong, at saka talagang humingi ng tulong, saka na lang ako magpapaka-stress dyan. Kasi that's beyond my control already. Another angle is that when we try to change the attitude of someone and we try to change the attitude, we try to change the how people think or or do things, but actually they're not asking for our help. Am I making sense, friends? Am I making sense with what I'm saying here? So there's three: challenge mindset, controllable by self mindset, and controllable by others mindset. And I think the last time I really throw you this question: where your energy is going in your daily lives, friends. Whenever you would have a list, ako today I have a list of things to do, pero hirap na hirap ako magtrabaho with the things that I need to really work on. Medyo nahihirapan ako magtrabaho today. And then I have to check, where is my energy going? Am I defending old beliefs or finding and doing new possibilities? Lagi niyong tandaan yan. I like giving this as a point of reflection to friends, to here in coffee break, or even in my talks. Where is your energy going? I think in this pandemic, mas maganda nating tingnan, no? Na kailangan natin mag-conserve ng energy. Kasi kumbaga para tayong battery na kailangan mo nang i-park minsan, like our gadgets or like the power bank. We need to just park it so that we can spend the energy on the right resources. So kailangan ba lahat patulan, or there are things na hindi yan kailangan ngayon? Hindi na muna natin pag-aaksayahan ng oras at budget. At hindi ako magpapaka-fret dyan. Hindi ako magpapaka-stress dyan, di ba? So here, Where is your energies going? If it's, I asked this the other day, is it going to your stress or it's going to how you support your well-being? Nasaan ang sagot niyo, friends? I would like to hear from you. Where do you think your energy is going? Are you supporting your stress? Na piniflame up mo pa or talagang pinaglalandakan mo and you're putting a badge that I'm so stressed? Or are you actually supporting your well being? Because at the end of the day, we can always be stressed about stress. There's always so many things that can be said and done about stress, but it's actually at the end of the day, we have to support ourselves rather than support our stress. Would you rather address the root of the problem or would you rather address the concern? I've heard of many people now that they're losing hair, they cannot sleep well, and of course, they've been binge eating. Is it healthy? No, it's not. So, what do you do? Do you just remedy all these manifestations of a bigger problem or you try to probe deeper saan galing tong problema? Do I have a mental health concern? Is this because of grief? Is this because of too much workload? So there, you support. And then, minsan, hindi mo mababago yung workload. Minsan, grief is there. Loss is there. Andyan na yan. So, baka naman kulang yung ating vitamins, vitamin A, B, C, D, and onwards. I'll tell you, the vitamin there, it's the vitamin S. Vitamin support for your well-being. So you know what I mean? You see what I mean? We can always try to remedy stress, but you can try not to remedy. You can actually go the other way by supporting your well-being so that supporting yourself. Can you tell me? Can you put that in the chat? Support myself. Can you tell me that? Can you put that in the chat? What's the best way so we will not to be stressed over stress? Support yourself. Walang maaawa sa atin kung hindi tayo lang. Walang gagawa ng paraan in terms of our health and well-being kung hindi tayo lang. So please friends, that's actually the way to go. Let's support our well-being. And the best way to manage stress, pag nasa-stress na, teka lang, kaya ko pa ba to? I shall do something different today. Get up. Sabi nga sa Bible, pick up your mat and go. Go by supporting yourself. Go by doing what you need to do. Go by being true to your needs. Do not deny yourself from your do not deny yourself that you need to grieve, that you need to rest, that you need to to be better, you need to recover. Do not deny that. It's very crucial. So thank you friends for telling me support yourself, and that's how for me right here at the present moment, how do we actually navigate being stress over stress? Instead of supporting your stress, support yourself with vitamin S. Support for the self. That's it, friends. It's so simple, but isn't it so hard to do? So if you have any questions regarding this topic, please put that in the chat. Put that in the comment section, and hopefully I can read it right now. Or kung hindi, if you're watching this on a replay, I can watch it on another session. And I would like to tell you, friends, that the digital gift stars is there at the comment section. So if you would like to support Coffee Break by doing the work that supporting the work that I do and sharing with you, please do so. And I would like to share with you the good news that the funds that I got from Coffee Break during my birth month, August, at saka nung July, I donated it to Anna Wim Foundation. So my friend who's also one of the persons in Anna Wim, she's going to make a therapy therapy room for the lolos and lolas. So ayan, meron siyang project doon. Announce lang namin pag tapos na yung project. Pero I just would like to tell you, for those of you who are supporting Anna Wim, supporting Coffee Break, that it's just not going to me, but it's going to the tech, going to the persons na binabayaran ko also, and going to pay for something that I use for this live stream, and it's going to the Mercy Ministry that I support. Kaya I support you, and then I hope you support me by sending this to family and friends who need it, and also giving a like in my YouTube page, following my Spotify, and then of course following Michelle Alignay here in Facebook, and more importantly, sending stars. Friends, huwag tayong ma-stress ha. Stress is there. So matuto tayong, ito lang ang dalawang tanong na gusto kong iwanan sa inyo. Is this inside or outside? Is this controllable or is this not controllable? If not, am I challenged with this to do something better? And I hope that that better that we will do is to support ourselves, to support our well-being. You support yourself because that's the way that we manage ourselves as a way to navigate stress. Magandang hapon, and I hope to see you again. If you would like to get to know what I do, if you would like to invite me for your corporate talks, trainings, this is something that I do, just shoot me an email here at Michelle Alignay page. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. God bless you. Don't be stressed. Smile because we're all blessed.